Children, let us study the concept allotropy. The property of some of the elements occur in nature in more than one form. The chemical properties of these different forms are the same, but their physical properties are different. This property of elements is called allotropy. Like carbon, sulfur and phosphorus also exhibit allotropy. Children, have you understood the concept of allotropy? Allotropy means the elements are existing in nature in more than one form. Their chemical properties are same, but their physical properties are different. Clear? Chemical compounds are totally different from allotropes. Chemical compounds have different physical and chemical properties, but allotropes have different physical properties and their chemical properties are same. Allotropes of single element exist in nature, but compounds, when they form, they are formed from multiple elements. So don't get confused with chemical compounds and allotropes. They are totally different from allotropes. Clear? Children, do you know a crystalline form of carbon? Crystalline form of carbon consists of diamond, graphite and fullerene. A crystalline form has regular and definite arrangement of atoms. They have high and sharp melting and boiling points. They have a definite geometrical shape, sharp edges and plane surfaces. The crystalline forms of carbon are diamond, graphite and fullerene. Before we study crystalline forms in detail, let me tell you the difference between crystalline forms of carbon and non-crystalline forms of carbon. A crystalline form has regular and definite arrangement of carbon atoms, and non-crystalline form has irregular arrangement of carbon atoms. Crystalline forms have high and sharp melting and high boiling points, but non-crystalline forms of carbon melt over a large range of temperature. Crystalline forms of carbon have definite geometrical shape, sharp edges and plane surfaces. But non-crystalline forms of carbon they do not have definite geometrical shape. And the non-crystalline forms of carbon are coal, coke, charcoal, etc. Let us study now crystalline forms of carbon in detail. First one is diamond. Diamonds are found in India mainly in Govalkonda, Karnataka and Panna in Madhya Pradesh. Diamonds are also found in South Africa, Brazil, Belgium, Russia and America. In diamond, every carbon atom is bonded to four neighboring atoms by covalent bonds. Therefore, diamond has tetragonal three-dimensional structure which makes it very hard. Children, as you all know that carbon always share its electrons with other elements, and the bond which is formed by sharing of electrons is called as covalent bond. So carbon has a tendency to form covalent bonds. Every carbon atom is bonded to four neighboring atoms by covalent bonds, and therefore diamond shows tetragonal three-dimensional structure which makes it very hard. Such type of pattern is repeated in entire crystal structure, resulting in a giant molecule. Properties of diamond. Brilliant and pure diamond is the hardest natural substance. The density of diamond is 3.5 gram per centimeter cube. The melting point of diamond is 3500 degrees Celsius. When diamond is heated at 800 degrees Celsius in the presence of oxygen, carbon dioxide is given away. In this process, no other products besides CO2 is formed. Diamond does not dissolve in any solvent. Acids, bases have no effect on diamond. Diamond is a bad conductor of electricity as it does not have free electrons. Clear? You have to write down all these properties in your science copy. Uses of diamond. Diamonds are used in glass cutting and rock drilling machines. Diamonds are used in ornaments. Diamond knives are used in the eye surgery. Diamond dust is used for polishing other diamonds. Diamond is used to make windows giving protection from radiation in space and in artificial satellites. Let us study now second crystalline form of carbon, and that is graphite. Graphite is found in the natural state in Russia, New Zealand, America and India. The lead used in the pencil is made by mixing graphite with clay. This process was discovered by Nicolas Jacques Conte in 1795. Structure of graphite. In graphite, each carbon atom is bonded to three other neighboring carbon atoms by covalent bonds so that a hexagonal layered structure is formed. A graphite crystal is made up of many sheets or layers of carbon atoms. These layers slip over each other on applying pressure. One layer of graphite is called as graphene. This is the structure of graphite. In graphite, you will see that a carbon atom is bonded to neighboring three other carbon atoms by covalent bonds. So, that hexagonal layered structure has been seen. And in the layers, one carbon atom remains free. Means if one electron remains free here, one layer of graphite is called as graphene. Inside each layer of graphite, free electrons move continuously within the entire layer. Hence, graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Due to its layered structure, graphite can be used for writing on paper. Uh, Here is an experiment which shows that graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Apparatus required are pencil, electrical wires, battery or cell, small bulb, water, kerosene, test tubes, lead pencil, etc. For this, you have to remove a lead from the pencil and fill it with your fingers. What color is it? It is blackish in color. Uh, if you want to break it, you can break down into pieces by your hand. It is so fragile. The apparatus are to be assembled in this way. Sharpen the lead pencil from both the ends, then connect both the sharpened end using electrical wires, one end to the cell or battery and other end to the small bulb, which in turn is connected to the other end of the cell or battery. When such assembly has been set up, you will see that the electric bulb in the circuit will glow. What is the inference of this experiment? This experiment shows that graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Inside each layer of graphite, free electrons move continuously within the entire layer and hence, due to these free electrons, graphite is a good conductor of electricity. Properties of graphite. Graphite found in nature is black, soft, brittle and slippery. Inside each layer of graphite, free electrons move continuously within the entire layer. This is why graphite, that is why graphite is good conductor of electricity. Due to layered structure, graphite can be used for writing on paper. The density of graphite is 1.9 to 2.3 gram per centimeter cube. Graphite does not dissolve in most solvents. Uses of graphite. Graphite is used for making lubricants. Graphite is used for making carbon electrodes. Graphite is used in pencils for writing. Graphite is used in paints and polish, and it is used in arc lamps which give a very bright light. Fullerene, an allotrope of carbon, is rarely found in nature. It is found in soot and in interstellar space. The first example of fullerene is Buckminster fullerene C60. This allotrope of carbon is named fullerene after the architect Richard Buckminster Fuller because the structure of C60 resembles the structure of the geodesic dome he designed. Harold Kroto, Robert Kurl, and Richard Smalley were given the Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1996 for the discovery of this carbon allotrope fullerene C60. C60, C70, C76, C88, and C86 are other examples of fullerene. Their molecules occur in small numbers in soot. This is the structure of fullerene. It is also called as buckyball. C60. Properties of fullerene. Molecules of fullerenes are found in the form of buckyballs and bucky tubes. There are 30 to 900 carbon atoms in one molecule of fullerene. Fullerene are soluble in organic solvents such as carbon disulfide, chlorobenzene. Uses of fullerenes. Fullerenes are used as insulators. Fullerenes are used as a catalyst in water purification. At a certain temperature, fullerene exhibits superconductivity. So children, we have discussed all three crystalline forms of carbon. They are diamond, graphite and fullerene. Then we have studied the properties, then structure and uses of all these allotropic forms of carbon. Thank you.